So I cut up all the giblets. There's quite a few. Livers, turkey livers, gizzards, and a little bit of the neck. And I'm getting ready now to saute the celery and the onion in some butter. And then I'll put these in last. And you don't want to overcook these, they'll get hard. Here I have the celery and onions. I've got about 5 stalks or 6 of celery and 1 large onion diced up small. And then I've got about a third, I think it's about a 4th stick of butter. And I'm going to salt and pepper these and saute them. On the giblets, I had probably 6 big turkey gizzards, maybe 3 or 4 turkey livers, and 1 neck that I cut up. And I cut them up into about that size piece. And on the bread, I break it up into about this size pieces. Some may be a little bigger and some a little smaller, but about that size. And now I'm doing a massive amount, 6 loaves of bread. And that's why I have a lot of giblets, because you need them. You don't need that many. You can just have the liver and gizzard and 1 neck out of the turkey would be enough for, say, 2 to 3 loaves of bread. And that makes quite a bit of dressing too, but I'm making a ton. So, and let's see, right here, I'm doing the celery and onions with the butter. And I salted and peppered them, and I put the lid on. And they'll cook faster that way. And I don't want to overcook them, but I want them translucent. I forgot to show you, yesterday, I laid out 6 loaves of bread on my table. I broke up 1.5 rows there. And so this is going to make a lot of dressing. And it's really dry, so that's good. I got about 2.5 loaves in this large pan that I got from Walmart. It's 20 inches long, I think by 11. Anyway, it's pretty big, but I got 2.5 loaves in there. And then I'll add some of my giblets, maybe a third of them, or a little over a third. And then I'll add the broth that's in the refrigerator that's cooled down so it won't affect the eggs when I put them in, but I'm going to put the eggs in last. I'm going to put everything else and then season it. So here's the dressing after I put enough broth in it. It took a lot of broth because this is my mother-in-law's recipe, and she made a really wet dressing, a moist dressing, and this is how she showed me if you knew you had enough broth. See right here on the side? You can see it coming up, the broth, right there. That's pretty wet, okay. See that? You'll see it on the edges come up a little bit. Seems like a lot of broth, but it's delicious dressing. I usually make it the day before, not to set up overnight, because sometimes it can be a little wet, but it's good. I don't know if you can see. Let's see. Right here. I don't know if you can see the moisture at the top, but you can see that much moisture coming up. Okay, now I'll put it in the oven. I'll be right back. I forgot to say, my mother-in-law never used sage, so we don't either. But if you want to put sage in this, you can to your taste. When you take it out of the oven, and this took about an hour, it can take up to an hour and a half depending on how much bread you have, how much broth, etc. But you want it to be jiggly. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a little jiggly where, it's still kind of soft. Okay, let's try that again. See if you can see that it jiggles. I don't know, it's not showing on video too much, but it's going to jiggle a little. Okay, so back soon. So hopefully you can see the moisture in this pan better. There it is. But just the second pan getting ready to go in. I always taste the seasoning and the dressing before I put the eggs in, and I put 2 eggs in this large amount of dressing and put a little broth with it or water. You can put and beat it up and stir it in. Here is the consistency of the dressing when you first take it out. You want to let it sit for about 20 minutes before you take it out of the pan, maybe 30, but it's pretty much just right. You really don't have to set it up at night. I put a little less broth in it this time. But I just think it's better if it sets up overnight. But you can go ahead and serve it if you want. And the best way to have this dressing is with a ton of turkey gravy on it. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye. One more thing. Back in the day, there was no need to put this in the refrigerator overnight and let it set up because the bread was different back then. We have so many dough conditioners in the bread now and so many extenders to keep it, you know, where you can eat it for 2 weeks, a loaf of bread. So it has changed the dressing too, but it's okay, like I said, to put gravy over it, but I just think it's better set up. But it is tasty. The number one thing, though, that Doris did, my mother-in-law, she put a lot of salt and a lot of pepper. So taste it before you put your eggs in because, you know, it's got to have enough salt or it won't have a good taste. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye, guys.